All right, we got a good one tonight on Top 5. We're doing our favorite action movies from the 80s.
Welcome to Top 5 with Joey Cassata. Starring Joey Cassata.
Team Jesus, my friend.
Am I walking around park?
Co-starring Ernie Palooza. And the Doctor, Tommy Snyder.
Goddamn.
Now here's your host, Joey Cassata.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Top 5. I'm your host, Joey Cassata.
And I'm Danny Glover, and I'm getting too old for this podcast.
No Danny Glover, it's Glover, right?
Whoops. My guy's from Sesame Street, I think.
Oh, God, what's
That's
happening?
Grover.
Grover, yes, that's not him. That's not the same guy, I don't think, right?
I think you're right.
What's happening, Ernie? We had another week off. I've been so busy. You guys can't seem to pull one together without me, you morons. But I give you permission all the time. Try to get something together, and of course, without my beautiful leadership, the show goes down.
It's true. We need you.
I like to hear that. But we're back, baby. I know this week we promised that we would have our contest winner, Uncle Steve, on, but Uncle Steve was unavailable today. We are going to have him on next week. It's already set up. He's ready to go. He's doing his research. He told me he might even order a couple more Ernie t-shirts just for next week's episode. I said, if he orders any more, we'll ship him Ernie instead. We'll just ship you right there. He was in.
That's great.
But we're going to have Uncle Steve on next week. We're going to be doing one of our best of years, our top 5 best of years. I haven't picked the year yet, but we're still deciding. But tonight, we got a great one for you tonight. This one, we both actually thought we did this already because it's such a great topic. I don't know how we didn't do it. We're doing our top 5 action movies from the 80s. Now, Ern, I know we got some Ernie rules here tonight. What are we talking?
Well, of course, we got to take Schwarzenegger. Is that how you say the name?
Who?
Schwarzenegger?
I can make 400 jokes. It doesn't matter. You say one word, it's better.
Whoever that guy is, we got to take him out.
We got to take out Schwarzenegger. Shart sounds like something like a poop or something, right?
Oh, I don't know what. Oh. He's related to Goldschlager now.
No, we're off to a great start.
But he's got to go. Oh, we got to take Stallone out because we've done Stallone movies.
I mean, again, to me, if we keep Schwarzenegger, I think that's closer, but it's probably not even right either. And Rocco in, it's all down. I mean, nothing else can even come close. My top 5 is immediately either top 5 Stallones or all Schwarzeneggers, which maybe we do a full Schwarzenegger episode one of these days, just so you can repeat that name.
What? I can't say it.
Try one more time for the audience, please.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, that's not bad. That wasn't too bad. Say it 3 times really fast. Just the last name.
Schwarzenegger.
But this one was harder than I thought it was going to be because action 80s movies, there's still like subgenres that, there's like the sci-fi action, there's the cop action, there's the war action. I kind of used my own criteria. How'd you kind of filter out what you were going to do?
I didn't. But now that you mention the subgenres, I see at least 2 of my movies is cop, and 2 of these are science fiction, and one of these I don't think has a genre.
Yeah, this. I mean, again, I'm a big sci-fi slash fantasy fan. I have a couple of those that touch in that area, but I didn't go full-fledged sci-fi fantasy because I think that could be its own show. I could easily pick a top 5 sci-fi or fantasy movies from the 80s or in general. So even though I have 2 of mine on, well, maybe even 3 on here that kind of touch in that world, I'm pretty straightforward. My other criteria, this is just for myself. This is not an Ernie rule. I left off a lot of the big franchise movies just because, again, a lot of those big franchise movies to me immediately almost take over the whole category. So I want it to be a little smoother, a little cooler, a little hipper. You know what I'm talking about, Aaron?
If you left off the big franchise movies, we will have 0 matches because that's all I got here. And by the way, the movie that doesn't have a genre, I'm going to make up a historical religious fiction.
What could it be? I wonder. I don't know. I like it. Yeah, I just left them off because I immediately they're almost too on the nose. It's too obvious that those are the movies that I would go for. I went a little bit more, not scarce, but maybe a little bit more unknown.
You're that type of snob.
Hold on, I got Rambo calling me. I gotta let him in. Keep talking, or tell the people.
I thought you said no Stallone. Can't have Rambo in there. All right, people. The show is just me now, and that's a better idea anyway. Oh, he's back.
You talking to the people, Ern?
Yes.
Come here, Rambo. Come say hi to everybody. I got to let him in. Here he is. That's my boy Rambo right there. Obviously, we couldn't include Rambo in this topic this week either because obviously Rambo wins. Good boy. All right. What else we got to talk about this week, Ern? Anything else happening in Ernie land?
Nothing is happening here.
Very interesting. The doctor's out of commission. He's MIA today. He'll be back hopefully for the Uncle Steve episode. I have a feeling Uncle Steve, the contest winner, will want the whole band back together for his episode, but we'll see if we can get him.
Is MIA missing in alcohol?
Obviously. All right, let's just jump right in. Come on, Ernie. Give me your number 5 action movie of the 80s.
I wish you would never have mentioned that genre stuff because this is all we got here. Let's see. My number 5 from 1986, Aliens. What an S at the end. Yeah.
Oh, the second one. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually saw this one before I didn't know it was a sequel. I was when we saw this in the
Yeah. You didn't see the first one first?
No, I was 9 years old when the first one came out.
Interesting.
This we all went to the movies to see, and I didn't even know there was one before it, and I still loved it. This is the get away from her, you bitch.
Yeah, I don't even think I consider the first Alien an action movie, right?
It's kind of it's a horror movie, is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, Aliens is a great one. I think that's probably my favorite. I mean, yeah, when that one came out, I remember it being my favorite, but I still don't know if it's better than the first one. The first one's slower, but it's definitely creepier, right?
I would go, yes, it is creepier because it's a horror movie, but it is so slow. It's boring to me.
Yeah, some of it is.
I didn't love it. I didn't love it as much as the way critics talk about the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more for the time. What is the first Alien? 79?
Yeah.
So I think it was more because of the time period that it came out. It was kind of revolutionary. It kind of had a lot of breakthrough stuff in there. That alien popping out of the chest is one of the most famous scenes in cinema history. So I think that alone it made it, a big blockbuster. But I could see why the second one really became the better movie.
It's a kids movie. It's an action. It's not a horror movie anymore. It's James Cameron.
It's almost what Rocky and Rocky 3 were.
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
You know what I mean? You taste what I'm laying down there?
I'm I'm saluting what you're running up the flag.
Great start. Good start. All right. My number 5. I'm gonna go. Oh, you know what? Did I have the years written down? Let me just make sure I have my years. I don't have the year of this one. You probably remember the year of this one, Ern.
I know everything.
I'm gonna and this is right up your alley, Ernie, and I would assume it might even be on your list, but maybe it's not. I'm gonna go War Games.
1983.
1983 War Games. That's what I said. 1983. Again, if people who have never seen this movie, what an incredible movie! It's about this kid. I believe the way the story goes is he hacks into this system to play video games, and he winds up hacking into the U.S. government's defense system, right?
Yeah, NORAD.
NORAD, and it thinks that there's a real nuclear war about to start, and it's going to trigger the nuclear weapons to be fired, and it's how he tries to have to disarm this mega computer, and he's like a teenage kid. It was like an accident. Incredible movie.
I think I could do an impression from somebody in this movie.
Give it to me.
Shall we play a game?
Very nicely done. Great. I mean, that's Stephen Hawkins before he had the voice box, right? Just an incredible game. I mean, it turns out that he winds up having to play chess to teach the computer there's no way to win, even though you and I know there is a way to win at chess. Me beating you.
Thermonuclear war is the game.
Yes, thermonuclear war, right? And everything every time they would play, it would just end in the world ending, and there would be no winner.
I love the movie, but I am going to make fun of it right now because if you see the list of games, every game is just a traditional nothing, and then at the end, thermonuclear war.
Right.
Checkers, chess,
Backgammon.
backgammon.
Yep. Well, that was the new game of the time. That's all. Yeah, I got to start there. It was always one of my favorites. It's not something that I went back and watched recently, but always love it. Anytime. It's not something you see on regularly. Like, I don't know if it's on Netflix. I don't know if it's on Amazon Prime. I don't know if it's on any of the streamers, but anytime I see it, I always have to stop and watch it.
I haven't seen it in so long, but I watched the hell out of it with the video cassettes where you
of course.
2 VCRs. You go rent one from the store. You put a blank one and you play one and record.
Shh, what? Ernie, that's illegal.
Oh, I think the statute of limitations.
Don't you remember that little copyright thing at the front of every video?
Yep.
When you used to make the copy, did you edit that part out?
I didn't know how to edit.
All right, back to you, Aaron. What do you got? Number 4.
I gotta go with Lethal Weapon from 1987.
Yeah.
There is someone in this movie that is my biggest crush of the 80s and maybe ever.
Who, the blonde girl?
No, that's Lethal Weapon 2.
Oh, I know. His daughter. Murtaugh's daughter.
I am talking, yes, about Mel Gibson's butt.
Oh.
Yes. Yes.
Mel Gibson has nothing on you, Ernie. You know that. You know I love that little coolie of yours.
I appreciate that. Yes, Danny Glover's daughter in this movie is. When I was a teenager, there was nobody better.
I don't know how I forgot this because I remember you telling me that for years. Years.
Tracy Wolf.
Is that her name?
Yeah.
Has she done anything else?
Besides Lethal Weapon?
Yeah.
She did Lethal Weapon too.
But I haven't seen her in any other movies, right? Besides the franchise.
Because she wasn't in any, and I know for that for a fact she has not been in.
You would have found them, right?
You know my other favorite? Do you remember Rona de Ricci?
Yeah. Oh, from what?
Pit and the Pendulum?
Yes. Oh my God. What was her name again?
Rona de Ricci.
Rona de Ricci. Oh my God. I don't even remember the movie, but I remember that.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, listen. Lethal Weapon, undeniable. it's one of the ones I purposely left off because I actually think I maybe like Lethal Weapon 2 better. But it's just an incredible franchise. And if I could have gone, I don't want to rattle them off because I have a feeling they're coming up on your list, but I could have just rattled off the big 80s blockbuster franchises, and I just decided not to. I went the War Games route, and you'll see my next pick too. I went more of this direction. But Lethal Weapon, incredible. Hold on, Rambo's looking to get out. Hold on. Talk to the people.
This dog is the new star of the podcast, huh? We say no Stallone, and all we've been hearing from so far is Rambo. Hello, the people.
What'd you tell them? You badmouth me?
Of course. You'll have to listen to find out.
I know, bastard. Hey, whoa. What are you drinking there?
This is something called the Bud Light Next.
What is that?
It's super crisp light beer.
Alcohol?
Zero carbs.
How could it be?
Yeah, Bud Light.
Is there alcohol in it, or is it seltzer or beer?
It's got alcohol, 4%. Is that?
Whoa, yeah, that's a regular beer. But how could there be no carbs in that?
It's not that good. That's why.
Carmine would not approve of that beer. I'll tell you right now.
It ain't delicious.
But it'll get the job done.
Yeah.
All right, my number 4. I don't know if the doctor would approve of that beer either, but he's not here tonight. He's missing in alcohol.
Yes. MIA.
All right, I'm going to go this. I know this one maybe people will laugh at, but I still love this movie today. It's got one of the most famous lines for me in movie history. I've come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum. We're talking about John Carpenter's They Live.
Great stuff.
1988. What a fabulous movie. So there's a backstory on this movie. So this is Rowdy Roddy Piper stars in this movie. Really, his first starring role. It's basically a slap at the government. How there's these glasses that you can put on and see what the world is really like, and it's the government feeding you all this information subconsciously that you don't even realize that you're absorbing. And there's also aliens everywhere that you don't even realize that they're aliens unless you put on these glasses. And I was just reading an article a couple weeks ago about this, that it was number 1 for the first 2 weeks that it hit the theaters. Number 1 movie in the country. Then I think because of the government stuff and it was much like 1984, like the postmodern, apocalyptic type thing where the government is bad and so on and so forth. Every movie theater stripped it out of the theaters and it tanked. But it became a cult classic over the years through video and stuff like that. I still think action wise, one of the best movies of the decade.
John Carpenter. That's everything John Carpenter did in the 80s was great.
The fight between Piper and his friend, I think he was a cop, I don't remember, in the alleyway. All Piper's asking this poor idiot to do is put the glasses on so he can see what Piper already sees. And this guy, he's a stubborn bastard. He just will not put these glasses on. And they have one of the best street fights, to me, in movie history. It's not this, it's not Stallone blowing up all of Afghanistan. It's not Schwarzenegger killing Predator. But it's just two regular guys in an alleyway beating the crap out of each other. And it's just so well done. And you're so mad because it's like, why are you taking all these punches? Just put the glasses on. What is it going to hurt? And finally, Piper puts the glasses on. And of course, the guy sees what the world is really like. And, from there, it's nonstop action. Great movie.
Funny, in the 80s, we're all close to the same age. For some reason, I was under the impression that I was supposed to like professional wrestling.
You were.
Yeah, so I watched wrestling just like everybody else, and my favorite wrestler was Piper for forever. He was always my favorite wrestler.
Oh, he was great.
But I grew up.
Oh, Ernie, you weren't supposed to like wrestling. You had to like wrestling. How could you not like wrestling growing up in the 80s being our age? It's impossible.
Yeah, it was fun. It was cartoons.
And I'm sure, obviously, many of you know I got Piper to reenact that scene with me where he does the chewing bubble gum and kicking ass. It's on one of my Wrestling with Joey Licious.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
I guess you're all out of bubblegum?
Great to work with him, and what a fabulous movie. All right, Ern, number 3.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, 1981.
Very predictable, Ernie.
Historical religious fiction.
Oh, that's the one. Yes.
True story. Even though I was 11 years old when I saw this movie in the movies for the first time, I was so amazed. I did not get up and leave when it was over. I sat there and watched it again.
Really? What year? 83?
81.
81, the first one, right? Wow.
11 years old at the Walker.
Wow. Where?
The Walker.
Where's the Walker?
Well, it's not there anymore, but it used to be on 86th Street somewhere.
Oh my God.
Bensonhurst.
You stayed and watched it again by yourself or other people with you?
I watched the first time my cousin Joey was with me.
Right.
He left. I couldn't get up. I was so amazed. I sat there and watched it again.
Amazing. Now, so again, here's why I didn't pick these movies. Because is Raiders the first one definitely your favorite one?
It's the one that had the biggest impact on me.
But see that hesitation, what you just did? That's exactly how I feel. I'm not sure. I love the third one, maybe as much. So how do I put one on and not put the other? It was so hard. That's why I decided to, there's one more franchise that I have a feeling you'll probably have that I had to leave all 3 of them off just because of these reasons. Same thing with Lethal Weapon.
I see your point, but it's not something we discussed ahead of time.
Well,
it would have been helpful.
No, these are not rules. I just did it because, again, I know if I was assuming you were going to, everyone's going to go that route. They're monster movies. How could you not love them? So I'm glad you did it. That way we represent both sides. I'm just glad I didn't, because we would just have 5 of the same exact movies. No, I wouldn't have had Aliens. Aliens wouldn't have made my list.
I'll tell you though, the one I liked the least was the second one.
Me
but
too.
the first 10 minutes of the second one is wonderful.
That's with River Phoenix, right? No, that's the third.
That's the third one.
What's the first 10 minutes?
Anything Goes. The song.
Trying to think how Temple of Doom, right? How does
Antidote.
Oh yes, of course. Great. Yeah.
And Short Round.
He's so. Oh, he's in Temple of Doom. That's what's his name from the Goonies too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah. Listen, even though it was the worst of the original 3, still a great movie. What I didn't love about it was it got away from what you just named the genre, that religious type of factor. It got, was those rocks. I didn't love the relic that the movie was based around.
No Time for Love, Dr. Jones.
Good stuff. I like where you're going, Ern. All right. My next 3 really could be interchangeable, but I'm going to go with this one for number 3. It had a sequel that I didn't love, which I try to forget about. But the first one of this franchise, 1981, Kurt Russell, Escape from New York.
Oh, you like the John Carpenter, huh? That's the second John Carpenter movie.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. I didn't even realize it. But this movie was, I remember, I think I had WHT as a kid. No one had cable in the area, but I had my WHT box, Wameco home theater. And this thing was on 24/7. And I must have watched this movie every day for a year straight. What an incredible movie. If people haven't seen it, I believe it takes place in 1997 or something, which is hysterical. and it was right after the U.S. and Russia basically bombed each other, and Manhattan is now it's destroyed, but it's a prison for all the prisoners in the U.S. at the time. And one of the prisoners is sent on a mission because the president's plane crashes inside the island of Manhattan, and he's trapped, basically, the president with all these prisoners on this island just running free. There's no guards, there's no nothing. It's just this post-apocalyptic world of prisoners in Manhattan. And it's just incredible how Kurt Russell has to go in and try to rescue the president to kind of free himself.
Snake Plissken.
Yes, with the patch. One of the best characters of all time.
Kurt Russell is so likable.
Oh, he's, especially in this too. I mean, this might be the first thing I saw him in. Anything before this?
He was in movies for a long time, but I can't think of any.
Right. I mean, this is when I know I got hip to Kurt Russell. Just incredible. He's so, it's weird. Like when I think of the action heroes from the 80s, they're all big buff guys. Kurt Russell wasn't. He was kind of regular size, but he was so badass in this movie, seeing all the different, hoodlums and scum that he runs across inside this world. It's just, what a fabulous movie.
I used to have the board game.
Was there a board game?
Yeah, in each bad guy, you had a card with his statistics, like what it took to roll a die to kill him and everything.
Hold on, I know your Christmas present this year. Hold on, I'll find you one, Ernie. Don't worry. All right, we're moving. Number 2, Ernie. Holy cow!
A bit of a genre myself as well. This one is called The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh my God! Jesus Christ, Ernie.
If you would have asked me 35 years ago, I would have said this was my favorite movie ever.
Yeah, it's still probably my second favorite movie ever, but it'll always be in my top 5, that's for sure.
I like when Leia says, "You're not going into an asteroid field." Han should have said, "Why not? You'll feel like you're back home."
That's disgusting. Star Wars fans, send your hate mail addressed to Ernie Palooza at top5withjoeycassata@gmail.com. Hate mail right to Ernie.
Oh, come on. And Luke and Leia kiss. How sweet.
It's a little weird. And listen, I will tell you right now, I still say when Lucas does that for Empire, he has no idea that they're brother and sister. He doesn't know yet. He's writing it on the fly. There's no way I don't think he knows Darth Vader's Luke's father in the first movie.
I agree with you.
I think it's the typical tale, and then he says, "Oh, I got a twist. Here we go. Vader's Luke's father." Oh God, we're right in the third movie. We got to have another twist here. How are we going to top that? I know. Leia's his sister. There's no way he knew.
I would go further and say when he made Star Wars, he didn't know there was ever going to be another movie.
I agree. Even better.
He thought it wasn't going to make any money.
Right. Couldn't agree more. But listen, listen. Obviously, those twists. Vader being Luke's father is, maybe the best moment in movie history. I know it's played to death, but God, I mean, the audience in every theater around the world, picture it. For the first time, are you kidding? Nobody saw that coming. No chance.
I saw it at the Brook. I remember exactly what movie theater I was at and everything.
That's where I saw it. Flatlands Avenue, right off of Flatbush. Yep, that's where I saw it. Beautiful. Again, another one of those, obviously, with me with Star Wars, I couldn't go Star Wars. Otherwise, I go maybe, obviously, there's only two in the 80s, but I would have gone both of them probably. They both would have made my list. All right, my number 2. This is, again, you see how there's some little sci-fi elements in some of mine, like They Live has a little, even Escape from New York has a little. This next one also, it's a little fantasy, but it's heavily action-based. This is, again, I still think of this as kind of an underground movie. I don't think the general public appreciates this movie or maybe even knows about it. Highlander. Again, I think 1988, I believe. Let me just make sure.
I was going to
Yes.
guess 80. No, I would have guessed wrong. I would have said 80, 86.
Yep, 1988. Actually, my next two are 88. I have three 88s. They Live, Highlander's 88, and then my number one is going to be 88 as well.
Mine too.
Ooh. Oh, well, maybe I don't know yours. I don't think that's 88. Anyway, Highlander, again, it's a movie about these immortal beings and they're swordsmen, and they have to kill each other off until there's only one of them left. Obviously, they're immortal, so how do you kill them? Only way to kill them is to chop the other one's head off. Once you chop their head off, their power goes into you, and you become a little bit stronger. And it's all about there can be only one, and at the end, that one will receive the ultimate prize, which is ultimate knowledge, I guess. That's what you want, if you want to call it. So, but it's about these immortals going after one another all throughout time. It starts off in modern times. I think that he actually starts off at a wrestling match at Madison Square Garden, maybe. And, you know, it keeps flashing back to like not prehistoric times, but like ancient times, or I forget what years and stuff, maybe 1500s, right? And I forget the years that it goes back to, but it goes back and forth throughout history, and it's just how these immortals are chasing each other throughout history. It's great.
Sean Connery and Lambert.
That's right. Christopher Lambert, Sean Connery. Sean Connery is this guy Christopher Lambert's mentor, and he's teaching him the ways of the Highlander, and he's teaching him swordsmanship and to kind of protect himself, and which really doesn't make sense because Sean Connery is also an immortal. So you'd think he'd want him killed, but he's trying to protect that one power from there's some bad immortals out there that they don't want to get this evil power. And I think I even mentioned the bad villain, the Kurgan, on one of our episodes, maybe best villains, but fantastic movie. Still love it to this day. Even the TV show I was big into for a long time. Loved it.
Yep. So Highlander 2, The Quickening.
Yeah, I didn't love the other movies that much, but the TV show was actually really, really well done.
I don't remember watching it.
All right, Ernie, we are flying. Let's recap what you got. A lot of franchises here, Ernie. A lot of franchises. Number 5, Aliens. Number 4, Lethal Weapon. Number 1. Number 3, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Number 2, The Empire Strikes Back. And then your number 1 favorite action movie of all time from the 80s is?
Can't you guess?
Yes, but I don't think I must not have the year right then. I always thought it was earlier, but I think I know it. It's 2 words, starts with a D, ends in a hard.
Yes. That's a bad way to.
Oh no, that's not what I meant. That is not what I meant, but that was nicely done, I guess, by me. That's 88?
That's 88.
Wow, I would have guessed 84.
I've mentioned this movie on a previous broadcast. Podcast.
This is not going on broadcast TV, Ernie. This is not 1963.
We're not on the remote access or cable access channel.
Coming to you in Technicolor. Desi Lou Productions. Yes, like Wayne's World, right? We have the antenna in our garage.
But if you remember the Christmas movies, this was also a number 1, and it's Die Hard.
Oh, that's right.
I've watched it so many times, and it's great every single time. I was just thinking, when the cops would stop us in the park, and we had to give fake names, I always used Ernie McClain. And then, stupidly, I would start having a conversation with the cop. You know, I say, like from Die Hard and everything.
Oh, listen, I can't argue with Die Hard, but again, I feel like almost all of them are great. I love the one with Samuel Jackson. I think that's 3 or 4, right?
Yeah.
They're running around. Oh, it's
Well,
incredible.
that's a great movie.
Which one is that? Die Hard with a Vengeance? Is that one?
It's Die Hard 3, but yeah,
Right.
It's called The Vengeance.
Yeah, I mean, listen, again, every one of yours is giant franchise movies, and I love, love, love every one of them. And I probably could have replaced all of my movies with all of these. Glad I didn't, because you have them, and I named 5 other movies. So yeah, but Die Hard, how could you disagree that Die Hard is one of the top 5 action movies from the 80s? Impossible.
3 of my movies were not franchise movies when they came out.
Good point. 3 of them, yeah, right. Empire's the second one. But again, those are 5 of. I guess you can consider Aliens as big as the other ones. Maybe not as big, but 5 pretty damn big franchises, right?
Ultimately, yeah.
Oh my God, crazy.
Die Hard 2, also underrated.
Tell me Die Hard 2 again. I feel like I don't remember that as much.
In the airport.
I feel like I don't remember it.
It ends. He's like hanging on the outside of the airplane.
Oh yes. Okay.
Even that one.
Also great. Yeah, they're great. Just great movies. Same with Lethal Weapon. They're so good. Joe Pesci in Lethal Weapon. When did he start? Number 2?
Yeah, Leo gets.
Oh, Leo gets whatever you want. Leo gets. Okay. All right. So let's recap mine. Number 5, War Games. Number 4, They Live. Rowdy Piper. Number 3, Escape from New York. Number 2, Highlander. And my number 1 action movie from the 80s that isn't Stallone or Schwarzenegger. I'm going to go one of the other big action movie heroes from that time period, Jean-Claude Van Damme. I'm going to go Bloodsport.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go. I like the martial art movies. I was a big fan of all the 70s, 80s, Saturday afternoon TV martial art movies. The one where the monk is building the roof on the house in Japan. Oh, it's just, I love that stuff. I was a sucker for that stuff. And this one was like the first one where I watched where it was Americanized, so it was a little easier to digest for me. It's about Jean-Claude Van Damme is ex-army military person, and he's obviously a martial artist, and he enters this hidden tournament, forbidden tournament called the Kumite, and he gets a special invite to it, and I believe it's in Japan. It's almost based what the video game Mortal Kombat was based on, and it's just all the different characters in this movie that you have to go through to fight. It's very Rocky-esque mixed with over the top, 2 Stallone movies obviously that I love, but it's kind of those 2 movies mixed together. It's got the sport of Rocky, but the weird funny characters of Over the Top. I remember there was this one guy that Jean-Claude fights in it, like he's like fighting on all 4s, almost like an animal. It's crazy. And then his rival in it is, I think, Chung Lee, and he winds up throwing the powder at him during the end. And Jean-Claude is blind, and he's got to fight him blind. Just it's action-packed martial arts. If you love that type of movie, go see Bloodsport. Immediately.
Classic.
Love it. This was fun. And again, every one of the movies we named, I could watch right now and enjoy so much. I love 80s action movies. Love them. And all the subgenres. We'll do like I said, I'm a big fantasy sci-fi guy too. We got to maybe do one of those too. There's so many that I had on my list that I'm like, nah, let's save that for a future episode. What do you got? Any honorable mentions?
Yeah. I'm gonna name the reason why I love this movie. Her name is Kira. It's the Beastmaster.
Oh, again, exactly what I'm talking about, the fantasy genre. That's, to me, Beastmaster. I have it downloaded on my phone right now. Great. I just watched half of it on the plane. I was just in Texas. Great movie. But that's, fantasy based, Conan, Krull, all of that type of stuff from back then. But what a great movie. The two ferrets, right?
Yeah. And the Falcon.
Falcon. What else? What else you got?
Don't want to talk about Kara more?
Oh, what's the actress's name again?
Tanya Roberts.
Yes, Tanya Roberts. But what else was she in? Something else pretty big, right?
Yeah, she was in Sheena.
Oh, yes.
and she was great in there. Not one too.
Yeah, I remember it very fondly.
Oh my God. That was part of my growing up.
Yeah, Beastmaster's early 80s too, right? He put maybe 81, 82 around there.
Beastmaster was 82, so I was 12.
Perfect.
And Sheena was 3. I was 13.
Of course. What year is Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
81.
There you go. You got Phoebe and Tanya back to back.
Yeah.
That was a very sensual year. And he said, yeah.
Back to back. Yeah. I also put a movie from 79. The Warriors. It's not but whatever.
Nah, but that's another genre. We do 70s action movies. Plenty to pick from. I think it's funny because when you hit the 80s, you start to get into these fantasy type movies and some different types of storylines, but 70s seems like it's all cop dramas, right? Cop action.
That's true. Joe, I would love to hear your honorable mentions.
My honorable mentions are ridiculously boring. I literally have Indiana Jones, Die Hard, Lethal Weapon.
Oh. Well, there we go.
But if I would have picked them, I would have picked Last Crusade for my Indiana Jones. I think I would have picked Last Crusade. Loved that movie with Sean Connery. Again, I think the actual relic was the main part of that movie for me. Having the chalice, having the cup of Christ be the thing thereafter is so captivating to me. Even more captivating than the Ark in the Ark of the Covenant in the first one. Sean Connery, of course, was incredible in that movie. It played Harrison Ford's father. I thought they worked so well together. Die Hard, I would have gone with the first one, but then Lethal Weapon, I think I'd go with the second one when they're more friends, because the first one, they're still very butting heads. I kind of liked when they're a little bit more friendly, and then Joe Pesci's getting involved. I think I like the second one a little bit better.
Second one is it's a more fun one.
Right.
Yeah, that's with the South African government, the diplomatic community. Yeah.
But again, if we were going any of the Schwarzenegger Stallone movies, Rocky 3 is still one of my favorite movies, period, of all time. Never mind action 80s movies. But I don't want to mention any of the Schwarzenegger movies because I think that's its own topic. He's got enough amazing films that we can do a whole episode on just Schwarzenegger.
I agree.
Beautiful. This was a quick one, a good one, a fun one, an easy one, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
We had no DeVito. We had no monster. We had no distractions. Well, maybe a little bit with Rambo, but that's about it. Otherwise, a spectacular episode, Ern. Pleasure to be back. We're gonna have a great episode next week with our contest winner, Uncle Steve, who bought 2 Ernie T-shirts, possibly a third by now. He's a fan. He's an Ernie fan, is from what I've been told, which I'm not sure if I love, but he's gonna come on anyway. And we're gonna do. I'm gonna pick the year right now, Ernie. We're gonna do our top 5 albums from 1983. That's what we're gonna do next week.
1983 it is.
It's a good year. Good year.
All right, I guess we should go through our sponsors.
Yeah, who we got sponsoring the show this week, Ern?
This show is brought to you from Amazon, which we mentioned last time, where you can pick up all your favorite books, such as Wrestling with Joey Licious, Part 2, and Wrestling with Joey Licious Joey Wishes. The original
That is
wrestling.
true.
With Joey Wishes. Yeah. So you can understand what's going on.
You need to buy both. You can't just buy the second one.
You also could get all top 5 memorabilia,
Oh, this is a great episode.
where we have top 5 shirts and maybe even other clothing. Top 5 thongs.
I think
maybe.
we do. They're up there with Ernie's face on them.
Condoms. Top 5 condoms are coming out shortly. Don't know if we're coming or going.
It says earn, but then it went as then it goes Ernie.
Oh yeah, not that much, I guess.
Who else? What other sponsors? Did we ever find out what
23andMe.
what nationality you are?
Okay, well, I sent them my DNA, and they have gotten it. They keep sending me emails. It's in transit. Got it. And now they're saying it's going to take a while. They've
never seen anything like it. They don't know what it is.
They said I got to wait till like April 25th. They're questioning, like this is something new.
Are you sure you sent them the right kind of specimen? I think you're supposed to just swab your nose, Ernie. You didn't do anything else, did you?
No.
Oh.
But I had to keep spitting it over and over into the tube. It was so disgusting. I'm walking around the house, looking up.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that you're finally revealed as a hobbit. I can't wait.
We will see.
From the Shire. Where else could you be from?
It'd be great.
Oh, it'd be so good. Is that all our sponsors for this week? No new sponsors?
No new sponsors at this time. Have contacted.
Again, anyone out there who wants to sponsor the show, please send $10,000 to Top 5 with Joey Cassata at gmail.com. That's Top 5 with Joey Cassata at gmail.com. Send us your credit card number, and we'll send all the money to a better place. Am I right, Ernie?
Yeah, or you could subscribe to us on our Patronus.
If you mean Patreon, Ernie, we do not have a Patreon account as of yet.
Oh.
But we will. We will one day. We're too busy giving you great content every week. We're not looking to make money. We're looking to make you, the listener, happy and satisfied.
I like money.
That's it. We'll see you next week. We'll have Uncle Steve and maybe Uncle Doctor back from the dead. Good night, Ern.
Good night, Joe. Good night, John Boy.